Hope you all are good. We are here for great time enough. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab, scroll down to grade 10 math, and then click on view all lessons. There you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter points, lines, and segments. The lessons we're going to go today are lines, segments, and rays. Length of the segment on number line set 1, length on number line set 2, additive property of length. Please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important example definitions as well. Let's just start with the lesson lines, line segments, and rays. What is this line segment or ray? This is a line segment. It has two endpoints. What is this line segment or ray? Line segment it is because it has two endpoints. What is this line segment? That is a line. What is this line segment ray? Ray, it is option number 3 is the correct option. What is this line segment ray? Line, it is option number 1 is the correct option. What is this line segment ray? the correct option. What is this line segment rate? That is line segment option number 2 is the correct option. What is this line segment rate? That is ray. Option number 2 is the correct option. Grade 5 math or language? Okay, the next lesson is length of the segments on number in set 1. What is the length of JK? The point J has the coordinate 80 and the K has coordinate 80. So the length of JK is the distance between J and K on the number line. So 81 minus 80 equals 1. So JK equals 1. Let's just start with the test questions. What is the length of KL? So the coordinate of K is 4, the coordinates of L is 5. So KL is 5 minus 4, that equals 1. You have to calculate the absolute value, right? The distance is always the positive values. Option number 2 is the correct option. What is the length of EF? So the length of EF is 3 minus 1, that equals 2. Option number 1 is the correct option. Option number 1 is the correct option, that is 2. Grade 5 language session. It will be live in a while. Maybe there is some technical issue, that's why it is not posted yet. You can just wait. What is the length of GH? That is 1. Option number 2 is the correct option. The distance between GH is 1. What is the length of PQ? The length of PQ is 2 units. Option number 2 is the correct option. What is the length of GH? That is 1 unit. Option number 2 is the correct option. What is the length of GH? That is 1 unit. Option number 1 is the correct option. What is the length of EF? That is 2 units. Option number 2 is the correct option. What is the length of KL, which is the correct option? Option number 1 is the correct option. That is 1 unit. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to the next lesson. The next lesson is additive property of length. If QR equals 16 and RS equals 7, what is QS? So for the QS, you need to add QR and RS. So QR equals 16 and RS equals 7. So 16 plus 7 is 23. QS equals 23. Okay, let's just start with the test questions. If EF equals 6 and FG equals 12. What is EG? So EG equals EF plus FG. EF is 6 plus FG is 12. So 12 plus 6 is that is 18. Option number 2 is the correct option. If PQ equals 13 and QR equals 16, what is PR? So we need to find the PR. So PR equals PQ plus QR. So PQ is 13 and QR is 16. So 13 plus 16 equals that is 29. Option number 2 is the correct option. The correct option is 29. 16 plus 13 is 29. Option number 2 is the correct option. If JK equals 6 and KL equals 13, what is JL? Which is the correct option? JL equals JK plus KL. So 13 plus 6 equals 19. Option number 1 is the correct option. If RS equals 20 and ST equals 15, what is RT? That is 35. Option number 2 is the correct option. 20 plus 15 equals 35. If UV equals 16 and VW equals 14, what is UW? That is 30. Option number is the correct option. If QR equals 20 and RS equals 11, what is QS, which is the correct option? 31, it is option number 1, the correct option. QRS equals 20 and ST equals 16. What is RT? Thirty-six, it is option number 1 is the correct option. If LM equals 14 and MN equals 12, what is LN? If LM equals 14 and MN equals 12, what is LN, which is the correct option? That is 26. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself at today. Let me just move on to the next lesson. That is midpoints. What is the coordinate of midpoint of BC? The coordinates of the B and C on the number line are 87 and 91. So for the midpoints, you need to add them and divide by 2. So 87 plus 91 divided by 2 equals 89. So 89 is the midpoint of 87 and 91. Okay, let's just start with the test questions. What is the coordinates of the midpoint of VW? So the coordinate of V are 9 and W is 11. So that is 9 plus 11 divided by 2. Eleven plus 9 is 20 and 20 divided by 2 is 10. So option number 1 is the correct option. That is 10. Option 1 is the correct option. What are the coordinates of the midpoint of BC? So the coordinates of B is 87 and C is 91. So just add them and divide by 2. That is 178 divided by 2. 3 times 8 is 16 and 9 is 18. That is 89. Option number 1 is the correct option. Option number 2 is the correct option. What is the coordinate of the midpoint of QR? The correct option is 4. Option number 1 is the correct option. What is the coordinate of midpoint VW? The midpoint of VW is 2. Option number 1 is the correct option. What is the coordinate of midpoint of SD? That is 29. Option number 1 is the correct option. What is the coordinate of midpoint of CD? It is option number 1 is the correct option. What is the coordinate of PQ? $39. It is option number 1 is the correct option. What is the coordinate of GH? The midpoint of GH. The midpoint of GH is 7. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 10 math. The chapter we were working on is points, lines, and segments. The lessons we have covered today are line, segments, and rays, length of segments on number line segment, additive property of length, and midpoints. So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil. Please make sure you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we just did. That is your homework until next session. So if you need more help with any of the lessons, you can simply click on the live chat button. Tutors are available there to help you, or either you can write down the question in the chat box. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. Any questions? No questions? Okay, then that's all for today. See you in the next session. Bye, everyone.